Hey you, so today I am here to do a first impressions review on a product that I received in my Vox box. That's what it's called, from Influencer. If you guys haven't heard of it, then check the link down below. I did my first impressions review on it, my first impression slash unboxing. That was my first time I ever received a Vox box, and it was really exciting. I got tons of amazing products. And one of the products that I got was actually this Covergirl Ready Set Gorgeous Fresh Complexion Oil-Free Foundation. It just looks like this. And obviously I got it in 305 Golden Tan, which looks really good for my skin tone. So I'm so excited to try this. Now the claim is that this is a one simple step for a flawless natural look that lasts all day. It doesn't say how long it lasts, it just says it lasts all day. The formula blends easily to even skin tone and reduce shine all day. It's oil-free, won't clog pores, suitable for sensitive skin, and lasts all day. So I'm assuming what they mean by all day is maybe like an 8-hour wear, since most people only really wear their foundation for about 8 hours a day. So for me personally, on a day-to-day basis, I do apply primer, setting powder, and setting spray. That's just me personally. I don't know if everybody does that. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing half of my face, the left hand side, with the primer, setting powder, and a setting spray, and then the right side of my face I'm not going to be doing any of that. I'm just going to be using the foundation as is. So I'm going to start off by doing the left side of my face, and I'm just going to be using my Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer, and try not to get it on all of my nose. I have a really oily nose. I don't really get oily anywhere else. It's just on my nose. It doesn't claim to be like a mattifying foundation, but it reduces shine. So we'll see if it actually does that. So according to the little postcard thing that it came with, this retails anywhere from $6.99 to $8.99. So I'm just going to be applying a little bit of this onto, that's a lot actually. And it is a squeezy tube. It's not like a pump or anything. I like squeezy tubes. That's pretty good. I just don't like the pour out ones. So that's good. So it is a little bit thick. It's not runny by any means. It's kind of thick. So I'm going to be using this foundation with two different methods. I'm going to be using the buffing brush by Real Techniques and the beauty blender to see which one applies better. So on this side I'm actually going to be using the brush, and on this side I'm going to be using the beauty blender. It has a little bit of a scent to it. Nothing, you can barely smell it. It seems to be a pretty sheer coverage foundation. It looks really matte. Not like a flat matte, but matte nonetheless. It's really sheer coverage. It doesn't really cover. Like, I have still redness peeking through here. I don't know if you guys can see because it's kind of small. But I'm going to go ahead and try to cover this little pimple that turned into something really ugly. And then I also have like some right here. So I'm going to be trying that with the buffing brush on the other side. So with the beauty blender, I got a very light coverage. It has like a cooling effect on the skin. I don't know if that's on purpose, but it has kind of like a cooling sensation. It's pretty light coverage. You can still kind of see the redness peeking through just a little bit. It's not like medium coverage, but it's not super sheer either. A little bit more on this little blemish here. It's very natural looking. Like it almost looks like I'm not really wearing foundation. That could be a good thing or that could be a bad thing depending on who you're talking to. It's weird because on this side where I use the beauty blender, it seems to be a little bit more matte looking than on this side. It might just be my imagination. Also, there was primer under this. It probably kept it looking a little bit more dewy than this side. I'm going to try to cover up this and this little blemish by using a little bit more. It covered it a little bit more. It's not super buildable in the sense of it actually covers blemishes. Like it does kind of cancel out a little bit of the color, but if you're looking for a full coverage kind of foundation, this definitely is not it. But it's a pretty good coverage foundation. Like if you just have a couple blemishes here and there, then this definitely will cover them slightly. Nothing crazy. But my skin looks matte, but not flat matte. There isn't any real shine to it at all. Like I said, the side where my primer is looks a little bit more, has a little bit of dewiness. I don't know if the camera will show that, but it has a little bit more dewiness than the side that I didn't apply primer on. It feels like it's pretty much set. It has a little bit of tackiness to it, but nothing too much. Now this definitely matches my skin tone. It has more of a yellow goldeny tone to it, which I love. I am really liking this foundation so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my face, and that's 2:42, so almost 3 o'clock. So I'm gonna wear this for a couple hours. And so I've been wearing the foundation for about 2 hours now because it is now 5:50. So I had it on for, you know, a little bit of time. And let me just do kind of a close-up here. I see a little bit, just the tiniest amount of difference between this side that doesn't have any setting powder or setting spray and this side that does have the setting powder and setting spray. I don't know if it's evident on camera, but so this side of my face is a little bit more matte, just the slightest bit, and this side is a little bit more oily, but it's not anything significantly different. It does not, I guess, well, it says it reduces shine. It never claimed to, you know, completely get rid of shine. It just says it reduces shine. I will say, I really do like the finish of the foundation. It did not oxidize at all. It stayed the same shade and it just looks really, really nice. Really natural. I asked my boyfriend if he could tell that I was wearing foundation, and if he could, how did it look? And he said that you couldn't see where it started and where it ended, and I actually didn't even really blend it down to my neck, so that's a good thing. And he said it looked really nice. So mind you, he doesn't like makeup, so it does not kick on or anything like that. The one thing that I will say though about the foundation is that it sets kind of quickly. So when I was applying my concealer, it kind of felt like it was tugging a little bit because the foundation under it had already set. So either do your foundation first and then apply your concealer really quickly, or do your concealer first and then do the foundation over it. I mean, it's nothing major, but it's just kind of like a suggestion. What I'm going to do is actually just blot my face. So the other thing that I was going to say is, see, it just, once you blot it, it's completely fine. It doesn't need any more powder or anything. When I applied powder on this side of my face, it actually looked a little bit cakey. Like you could actually see the powder on my face. So this foundation, you have to be really careful about how much powder you use with it, because honestly you could get away with not using powder. As you guys can see, this side of my face is completely the same as this side of my face that has the powder. So I used the setting spray and that kind of got rid of the kind of cakiness, which I would do normally anyway, but this foundation really does not need powder at all. I actually kind of prefer the side that doesn't have the powder just because it looks a little bit more like my skin, if that makes sense. So that was the little update for now. I will come back in a couple hours. Hey guys, so it's been a couple of hours. It is now about to be 9 o'clock. It's 8:55, so basically 9 o'clock. So I've been wearing this about 6 hours, if not 6 hours. The oiliness has come back again, more so on the side again where there was no primer, no setting powder, no setting spray, anything like that. On this side it still looks pretty okay. It doesn't look super dewy or anything. You guys can see the light. I did not apply highlighter, so that's just straight up dewiness, and you see it's a little bit less than on the, see, like you can totally see the like glow on this side, and then on this side it's not as much. But this foundation has held up really nicely. It's worn off like around my mouth, but you know, I was eating and stuff like that, so that's normal. I am oily. The contour and blush and all that is still on there, so it's really good as a base for, you know, all of that stuff, so it's not gonna fade or anything. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of powder over to see what it looks like if I apply some powder. And I'm just gonna go ahead and apply some on this side because we already know that maybe it's a good idea to apply some primer if you are oily. If you're not really oily, then you don't really need a primer. So I went ahead and applied my Nearly Naked powder, and it still looks really great. It looks normal. It doesn't look cakey or anything. It didn't get weird around my nose where I was most oily and on my T-zone or anything like that. It does seem to have faded a little bit to right here around my chin, which is where I have a little bit of breakouts. So I think it's fine. It still looks the same as when I applied it. I'm really liking this foundation so far. I really like it. So I'll come back at the end of the night when I'm about to wash it all off and all of that to kind of give you guys the last update. So it is now midnight and I'm gonna go ahead and take off my makeup for the day. I'm so annoyed with these lashes. I just want to get rid of them. But I just slapped myself. This foundation has not budged. It has not changed. It looks pretty much exactly the same way that it did when I applied it. I lost a little bit of color around my mouth here and around my mouth because I was wiping my mouth when I was eating and stuff. The blemishes that I had on my forehead, they're still covered. The one in my nose is still covered. This one over here is not covered as well, but it was probably because I had my hand there. But it doesn't seem to like wipe off. You know how like some foundations, they just kind of like come off. This does not do that. So this is pretty good. I mean, I've been wearing it for hours now. My hands are a little bit damp because I just washed them, but it's not coming off. So overall, I have to say this foundation is pretty awesome. I have been wearing it for, I'm pretty sure, about 8 hours now, and that's, you know, a normal day basis, and it has not budged, not even a little bit. It looks pretty much exactly the same as when I applied it. There's no significant difference on the side that I applied my powder, primer, all of that stuff. There's no difference. This is the side with all the powder and primer and all that, and this is the side over here with none of that. And honestly, it looks exactly the same. So that's pretty impressive. I mean, throughout the day, there was a little bit more oiliness to this side, but nothing excessive, nothing that a little blotting sheet couldn't fix. It did not like break apart and separate on my nose like most foundations do. So that's really good. And as you guys can see, like when I touch my face, my products on top don't just like rub off. So overall, I do recommend this foundation. I would probably repurchase this foundation, given this is only the first impression. So overall, like, I don't know if, you know, on a busier day if it'll hold up as well. I will totally let you guys know if anything changes in the future when I try it out, you know, on a busier day or anything like that. But yeah, I'm actually really impressed by this foundation. It only retails for $6 to $8 depending on where you purchase it from. So Covergirl, you did it again. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first impressions, and please let me know what you guys would like to see next in the comment section below. Please subscribe and like this video if you liked it. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye!